Good afternoon, I'm meteorologist Cameron Young. Thank you for logging on to this winter weather update for Northwest Florida. We're going to be talking about the winter weather potential as we head towards Friday night and Saturday morning. Here's the GFS model at midnight Friday night into Saturday morning. This model has been the most consistent over the past couple of days and is most in line with what most meteorologists are thinking at this time. So, we look at Northwest Florida. Right now you see that green color over us. That indicates the potential of rain. However, further north and west, you see that pink color, and that represents freezing rain, or rain that falls and then freezes as soon as it hits the surface, like a road or the hood of your car. That makes an icy glaze and makes travel very tricky. Further to the north and west, that purple color is sleet. Sleet is what are little tiny ice pellets that hit your roof and hit your car and you hear it. Remember, sleet makes a beat. Now you'll never forget it. The blue color that you see further to the north and west is snow. We won't have to worry about snow here in Northwest Florida. Absolutely not. By 3 o'clock in the morning, that precipitation slides a little further east, and now we get a little bit of that pink color in Northwest Florida, in Escambia and Santa Rosa counties mainly. That's the freezing rain. That's what the model thinks is freezing rain. At 6 in the morning on Saturday, it starts sliding a little bit further to the east, and we get that pink color now in Okaloosa, Walton, and Holmes counties, whereas Escambia and Santa Rosa counties now have that purple color, or sleet. So, how much of a potential do we have of seeing this winter weather? Unfortunately, really not that great. Here's what the atmosphere could look like through a skew-T at Pensacola. Skew-T because the temperature contours, which go up and to the right, are diagonal. That's basically what skew-T means. That bright pink line that I've drawn in is the freezing line, or 0 degrees Celsius. Anything to the left of that line is below freezing. Anything to the right is above freezing. The red line is the temperature, and the green line is dew point. The closer that those two lines are together, the more moist it is. The further apart they are, the drier it is. So we're going to look at the snow growth region, which is where the temperature is between -12 and -17 degrees Celsius. I highlighted it in yellow. You can see the temperature and dew point are really far apart. That means it's too dry for ice crystals to form. If an ice crystal were to form, however, it would fall into the next layer, which is the sub-freezing layer. This is where the temperatures are below freezing and would support ice crystal growth. However, it's too dry. That temperature and dew point are really far apart now, so any ice crystals that fall into that layer would instantly evaporate and really leave us with nothing. If an ice crystal were to make it through that layer, which is highly unlikely, it would go through the melting layer, which is where the temperature is above freezing. It is a little more moist in here, however, it would melt the ice crystal almost completely. So then we're left with a little bit of rain. However, it goes through a sub-freezing layer at the surface, which would refreeze it back into either sleet or freezing rain. In this case, it looks like it would be sleet since the sub-freezing layer is deep enough to refreeze that rain completely before hitting the ground. So, if we look at that, you can see Pensacola, which is where that sounding was from, is in that purple area. So, sleet. However, it's too dry aloft for it to really form. So what is the thinking? What will happen and what won't happen? What will happen, there is a good chance of rain. However, it will be a very cold rain with temperatures in the 30s, and with that wind, it's going to feel like it's in the 20s. So it's going to be a very cold rain. What could happen is that there could be a brief transition when the rain starts to end back to sleet or freezing rain, depending on where you are. Mainly in Escambia, Santa Rosa, and Okaloosa counties. But that's not likely. Do not expect sleet or freezing rain to happen. If it does, there will be no accumulation. It will most likely melt on contact. So really, no real impacts from that. What won't happen, we're not going to have heavy rain like we had earlier this week, and we're not going to see snow. So I apologize to all those snow lovers. It's just not in our forecast here. It does not look like it's going to happen. So what you can expect, rain. Definitely bank on rain. Sleet and freezing rain are only a slight possibility, and snow, there is no possibility of that. So, I will have your full forecast coming up later this afternoon. This was just a winter weather update, and we'll take a look at temperatures in the forecast later on this afternoon. I'm meteorologist Cameron Young. Thank you for logging on to your winter weather update for Northwest Florida, and I hope you have a great afternoon.